Now Pam's been wanting a new cell phone mount in her 2016 BU Renegade for quite a while. She's tried a couple of other mounts and you know what, they just didn't work all that well. So being a fan of Bulletpoint Mounting Solutions cell phone mounts, I actually have their cell phone mount in my JL back here. I went through their universal mount selection and came up with something that I think is going to work. Now this is what I've got in my 2018 JL. I really like how this works, and I like how the red on these arms matches the red on the dashboard of my Rubicon. And I also love how these things work. I mean, that is simple, and when you want it off of there, you just grab it off. It couldn't be easier. So I've got one for the driver, I've got one for a passenger. So I went to Bullet Point's website and I ordered some parts that I thought might work in the Renegade back here. Now I suppose I ought to mention that none of this stuff is sponsored. I just like the stuff and I'm willing to pay for it. And you know, I think you'll like it too. And if you like what I did, and if you'd like to know what it is I've used, I'll have some links below where you can pick up the same parts. Hey Pam.
Yes.
Since this is for your Renegade, why don't you open that package?
Okay. Look, it doesn't open there, does it?
Yeah, probably not.
I was trying to make the bag look nice.
It's just a bag. We're gonna throw it away.
A part. A box. More parts. Oh, it's magnetized.
Yep. That's the mount that we're gonna try to adapt.
Okay. And another box.
Yep. And we may or may not use that one, but
Oh, but blue.
But it's pretty blue. Yep.
Cool.
So currently she has her cell phone mounted right here on this vent assembly, but it's a little magnet thing, and it's
Not liking the heat.
yeah, and it's glued in place. It's coming off. This isn't cool. We're gonna do this a little better. Believe it or not, that glued on nasty mess was actually easier to use than the phone mount that the little tray here came with, because the tray is cool. The phone mount bolts on, but the phone mount is near impossible to use. So let's see how that goes.
And then you can't see. And then driving down the road, all of a sudden you goes boing.
Yeah, and definitely not a one-handed operation, no matter how you look at it. Definitely a problem in need of solution. So, definitely a problem in need of a solution. Now here's the finished cell phone mount in Pam's 2016 BU Renegade. It looks good, it's sturdy, it's easy to use. I mean, you can't get any better than that. If you'd like to see how I did it, keep watching. In the meantime, if you like projects like this, please give us a like and subscribe. And if you're wondering where to get all these components, and some of the tools and supplies that I've used, there's links below to help you find them. All right, so to start, we have to remove the radio. To get the radio out, we need to remove the bezel that fits around it. So we're just going to use this little plastic tool. Let's go right here in the corner. And that comes out that easily. To remove the radio, we're going to use a T25 Torx head bit. Just a driver, it's easy. Just 4 screws. Oh well.
It landed on my foot.
Oh, did it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to fast forward through this stuff anyways.
Yeah.
And then the radio comes out that easily. A little piece fell out, but I don't know what it is.
It's to the bezel around the radio.
Aha. Okay, so we'll have to
put it right up there.
Oh yeah, I see it. All right, so this little piece fell out. It just fits right here. And, you know, so if one of yours falls out, now you know where it goes. Underneath here, there are 2 screws, just like what we took out, but you're not going to be able to use the nut driver for them. You'll have to use something shorter, like ratchet. So once that's out, this just clips in place. It's that easy. And it gives you an opportunity to clean all the dog hair out from the vents. So you'll have nice clean vents again. So with all the dog hair that we found underneath this vent on the Renegade, figured I'd get out my little portable vacuum cleaner and suck it up, get rid of it, get it all cleaned up before we go and put all this back together again. Now, I thought I'd point this thing out. This is a battery-powered DeWalt little, cordless vacuum cleaner, and I actually didn't buy it to do like detail work or cleaning in a vehicle. Oddly, I bought it to suck up all the spiders and stuff that were creating webs right around the entry door and getting in our hair as we're trying to walk in or out of the building. It was getting to be a real nuisance, and so this became really, really handy for getting rid of all those dopey spiders. Anyhow, it's also really handy for cleaning up the dog hair underneath the vent on the BU's dashboard. So let's get it cleaned up.
That's better.
It's amazing how much dog hair got in there. Since there wasn't a kit to fit one of the Bulletpoint phone mounts in the BU or anywhere on the BU's dashboard, I figured I'd try to put it on top of this vent assembly. Now Pam has this little aftermarket tray that had a phone mount here. There was, you can see the screw here, there's some threads in there, and I thought maybe that would be a good place to mount some sort of Bulletpoint mounting bracket. But I really didn't know what they might have that would work. So I did a little looking through their website, and I came up with this little Jasper right there. And there's a hole down the middle of it, and there is a bolt that runs through it. But turns out it's kind of small, and a lot smaller than that. So it wasn't quite going to work the way I initially thought. But it does come apart. There's this piece here that I can probably not get out with one hand, but oh look, I'm getting it. All right, so there's this piece that comes off. There we go. So you have this piece, and I thought maybe I could mount it here. And maybe I use those 3 holes, maybe I only use one of them, not sure. I do have to trim out a little bit here and there to get it to sit flush with this surface, but that's what I thought might work. And so to go along with this mounting system, because obviously this gets attached to that after it's mounted to that, so once you have this mounted and it's solid, oh, and it did come with hardware, so that's cool. It's a fairly universal mount by the looks of it. I got, oh well, that's actually the extra piece. I got, oh, of course this box won't open like the other one did. Okay, Well, we can't look at it because the box won't open. Okay, I got the box open. Look at that. It came with some stickers, and I don't feel we're putting the stickers anywhere, but that's okay. It came with the magnet mount. That's right there. And it also came with a couple of pieces of steel to attach to the back of your phone for, to attach that. They're adhesive backed. And then it came with this arm and the little end pieces here. So we have a way of attaching to that. Now, since I wasn't sure if this piece, if this piece was long enough, I went ahead and I ordered this one also. And I got it in blue because Pam's Renegade has some cool blue graphics against the white, and I thought maybe this blue would look really good. As it turns out, this piece actually has some blue highlights in it, which you don't see here in the video, but in the sun, it looks pretty cool. That one would be a good match for her car too. But right now, we're going to run with this. That might actually be a little bit too long, but if it turns out that it is a little too long, we can always go back to this one, and it'll be fine. So I'm going to try and put this together. First, though, is I've got to get the glue off of here, because that's a mess. Now, to get this glue off of here, I figured what I'd do first is I would spray it with one of my favorite cleaners. This stuff here does really good job on glue, and I use it for a variety of things. Not sponsored, but it's a product I really like, and I don't know, you might like it too. Give it a shot. And we'll let that soak and come back to it in a little bit. And you can see how it's dissolving the adhesive there. It's coming off, but this is some sticky crap, so it's not coming off very quick. I got the majority of the adhesive off. It was seemed to be some sort of a duct tape, so there was like a lot of cloth mesh in there. The majority of it came off using this plastic razor blade and the Zenit, and now what's left in the grooves is, well, more adhesive. So I'm going to try getting that out using an old toothbrush, and we'll see how that works. Well, I'd say that worked pretty darn good. I'm going to wipe that all clean with a paper towel, and then I'll reapply the Zenit and go over it again with the brush, and that should take care of it. Alright, now I got all of the glue off there. You can see that is all nice and clean again. Not a single remnant of that nasty glue. The Zenit did a really nice job. The toothbrush finished it off, and we're ready to start cutting to provide clearance for that mounting piece from Bulletpoint. So to get started, I figured what I'd do is drill out one of these 3 holes to be large enough to fit this screw through, because that is what goes in here. So that would be our starting point, is right there. We'll attach this and we can figure out where we need to cut. So the holes in this little mounting base measure, that looks like 213. It's a little over 210. Of course, there we go. So that's how big the hole size is. Now, set that aside. We grab the screw. This is a 6mm screw, and it measures at about 230 right there. Now, the closest drill bit that I've got is 1/4 inch. So 250. So we're going to use this drill. Alright, so to get this drilled out, get the light on. We're going to lightly hold this. I don't want to hold this thing in my hand. That would be an invitation to getting hurt. So we're going to go ahead, put this in here, lightly hold it. I don't want to crush this thing and damage the threads. That would be bad. We'll go ahead and put the drill bit in. The plate's a little high. Let's go ahead and lower it. That should be enough. And there we go. And there we go. One hole, a little bigger than the others. So the next problem is that although the screw will fit in that hole, the head is just a little bit too big. So we'll go ahead and slip that in, and you can see that the head of that screw, that's not going to work. It's going to interfere with the thread in the middle, and it pretty much hits on the side here too. So we're going to go ahead and find an Allen head screw that is the same thread, but that will have a smaller head size, and it'll fit down in there just fine. Okay, so I found an Allen screw of the same 6 by 1.0 thread size that this Phillips screw is, and we'll use that to attach this to this, because that's a perfect fit in there, and that's going to work great. So we'll go ahead and put that in. Oops. Try that again. Alright. And then I can go ahead and line this up. Okay, maybe not. Let's loosen that just a little bit. There we go. Alright, now I can tighten that up. And we don't have to tighten it, just snug it up a little bit so that we can see where it's going to end up, or where it needs to be, maybe is a better way of describing it. And since this piece threads on top of that piece, that's going to affect how much we need to cut. I mean, it's not going to affect it a lot, but by putting it in place, I can mark in the different cut locations, and I'll know exactly where they need to be. Okay, so I grabbed the Sharpie with a nice sharp end, basically one that's never been used before, and we'll go ahead and mark this. Alright, I think I'll finish that off with a file. Alright, now that that's all trimmed out, let's see how this fits.
Perfect.
Perfect.
So you can see.
So now that we've got this mounted to this, the only thing left is to put a couple of little screws in those two holes to help keep it from rotating and give it a little more support. Not that I really think it needs it, but hey, we're here. We'll go ahead and put it in. There's the second, and let's just give this a little bit more of a tightening. And there we are. Let's go ahead and put this in. perfect fit. And then we'll put the lock screw in. And I have no idea what size that is, but it doesn't matter because they gave us the tool. Get that in there. All right, now we can reinstall this and finish the installation. Okay, well now that all the dog hair has been vacuumed up, this is cleaned up, this is ready to go in, we'll just go ahead and snap it in place. It just drops down in, there we go. And then we have to put the 2 screws that fit underneath here, we have to put those back in place. Okay, now to get the 2 screws in, it's kind of tough to tell where they belong without having a light. So we'll grab a light, we'll put right under there. We'll use the Torx socket as a little wrench, and it's pretty easy to see once you look from below. It goes right in there, real easy. Now that one is started, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, real easy to see once you're looking at it from down below. Alright, now to finish that, we'll go ahead and grab the ratchet that I set aside and lost for a moment. Here we go. And again, it's easier if you're looking from below so you can see what you're doing. You don't have to go crazy tightening it, so you don't want to strip out the plastic. Alright, that is finished. Now we can swap over to the nut driver. Put the radio in place. There it goes. And there's 4 screws to put back in. And it's good when you're working with threaded fasteners into plastic. When you start it, it's a lot safer for the threads and will be a lot easier for you if when you put it in, you actually go backwards at first. And you'll hear it go, there, clicks into place. Then you can go forward and you'll be in the same threads you were in to begin with. Just makes the job a little bit easier. And then you can snug them up. Okay, then we can put this back over the radio, around the radio. It just clips in place, real easy. So the next step is we just go ahead and assemble these, I don't know what you call these things. The rod, the arm, and these are the pivots. So that needs to be attached to the end of the arm. If I can open it up far enough. I don't want to take it apart. Not that it's a big deal, but it's probably easier if I don't take it apart. Sheesh. There we go. Jeez, much harder than it should have been. Alright. Not that it's hard. I'll go ahead and stick this in there, snug that up, and then we'll adjust it later. Let's go ahead and get this other one on the other end. There we go. And let's attach it here. Now, I don't know exactly where the best place to mount the phone is, but I'm thinking right about there. We'll just go ahead and attach that. Oops. Right there. And then, whenever Pam gets in her car, she can just do that. So, after adjusting for Pam's height and etc., this is what we ended up with. Nice setup. I think that'll serve her well. Well, if you like that little project, please give us a like and subscribe. And we'll be doing plenty of other projects that we sure hope you'll find interesting.